Good morning to you all. It's a great privilege to come to this school, having brought up knowing so much about Hong Kong. It's been a long-term ambition of mine to visit Hong Kong firstly, and I'm amazed to come to this school and see how it is developed, and I'm very honoured to be speaking to you this morning. My father and his brother, Mr. Goodban, went to the same school in England and probably were relatively close at that time as they lost their father during their school days. They were very different individuals, which my wife will endorse. But nonetheless, it was a great help to both of them when during the darkest time of their years here. My uncle, Gerald Goodban, had started as headmaster here in 1938, and it wasn't long before he was interned by the Japanese and put into a camp with his wife Mary. Within a few days of the fall of Hong Kong, she gave birth to my cousin Nicholas. And after 3 years of suffering and near starvation, which many of their fellow prisoners helped to keep Nicholas alive with food rations. So it was at the end of the war in Europe that my father, who had served in the Royal Air Force, was sent to the Pacific to assist in the end of the war in Japan. However, he landed in Hong Kong shortly after the surrender, and it was to his great joy that he was able to meet up with Mr. Goodban on the quayside here in Kowloon and to find that his brother had survived the war. So I have many stories. When I was young, I was born in 1948, during the time when Mr. Goodban was headmaster. And so I have stories both of his time here and of my father's station during the latter part of the war. Nicholas, their son, was sent to England for schooling at early age and effectively became like a half-brother to me as he stayed with my parents during the school holidays. Mr. Goodban left here, DBS, in 1955. I believe, but I don't know, that it was probably for the education of his children, by which time he now had 4. And unfortunately, the final daughter, Catherine, was born with severe brain damage. So she has had to be in care for all her life. So from here, Mr. Goodban became a housemaster at a top English public school before going on to being headmaster of King's School in Grantham. My father died actually before him, although being the younger brother, in 1990, and Mr. Goodban died a few years later, with his wife Mary dying in 2003. So I'm very honoured to show some light into my uncle's time here as your headmaster, and I know it would have given him tremendous pride and honour to see the size of the school, the way it is developed, and its reputation worldwide. Thank you very much.